Hey guys, so I'm back home. I've just been out filming some survival techniques footage. Um, it's unedited, unscripted, um, so I hope you enjoy it. I took along a couple of the items that I have chosen. My knife, some 550 paracord, and my axe. Um, and you'll notice in a couple of clips as well, I'm carrying my sidearm. Unfortunately, in this bit of bush, there is things a lot more dangerous than bears and wolves, and they walk on 2 feet. So, um, yeah, that obviously won't be coming with me, but a necessity as I do not have a satellite phone or panic button with me at this stage. Um, yeah, I repeat myself a couple of times in the video. There's some disturbances which I would normally edit out, but this is as you see it. So I hope you enjoy. Cheers. Hey guys, so we're out in a little spit of bush in the Western Cape. A couple of kilometers that way is a construction site. They're building a massive shopping center and some houses. This stuff here is all pine, blue gum, Port Jackson. It's all alien invasive stuff that's going to have to go anyway. It rained last night, so everything's damp and the sun is cooking today, so the humidity is unbearable. But basically what I want to do is put together a short clip of, if you find yourself in a cold, wet environment, you've just landed, you've got what you've got on you. I've got some waterproof boots, cargo pants, I've got my knife, an axe, and some 550 paracord. And basically what you're going to want to do is build a shelter to get out of the weather, and then obviously go ahead and get a fire going, especially for the cold climates. And it's not so important to pick out a good spot to build it. This is a pre-shelter. It's just to basically keep you for that first night. So what you got to worry about in places like this, especially this climate, this area, is all this broken stuff over here. There's a lot of shelter and this place is full of snakes. But with that, I mean, I've also walking out here seen a tortoise, a little field mouse. So there's food out here. But basically the two main snakes that are here are puff adders and Cape cobras. Unfortunately, to get the dry tinder, you're going to have to make your way into very thick stuff right underneath the trees, because that's where the tinder is going to be the driest. Unfortunately, that's also where the snakes are going to want to be. Stuff like this over here, right in underneath here. I've got a helicopter flying. You're going to want to get that stuff right underneath there. Fortunately, if it's a puff adder, I think I'm being rescued already. If it's a puff adder, it'll make a really loud compressor-like hiss. It's a slow-moving snake. It can't climb trees, so it's going to want to let you know that it's in the area, and you don't want to mess around with it. One of the fastest striking snakes, nasty cytotoxin that destroys your tissue cells. It's like burning oil going into your flesh. The Cape cobra, however, is a nasty bit of work. Fortunately, they pick up the vibrations of you walking, and they know that we're here long before we know they're here, and hopefully they will leave the area. If not, they strike. So I'm going to go ahead and put together a quick shelter using all these sticks lying around. I see some palm fronds, and let's get a shelter up quickly, keeping in mind that this is a scenario that you've landed in a cold, wet area. It's raining, you need to get out of the weather. So let's go ahead and put that together, and I'll be back with you in a sec. Okay guys, so I hit up this little shelter in probably just over half an hour. As I said, this is not a long-term shelter. It's to get you out of the weather, out of the rain, so you can get yourself dry and warm. It's mostly pine leaves, so in time these will die, and you'll start getting bigger gaps. It will withstand wind. We've got our back shelter blocking most of the wind, so this will keep you out of the weather. You're also going to want to collect some wood that you're going to use for your fire. Keep it underneath your shelter, try and keep it dry, and yeah, it'll keep you until you can get to your primary shelter. The fortunate thing with something like this is that you can build off of the structure. So every day you'll wake up, put some pegs on the side, and build up a log wall, lift your roof up a little bit, and you basically got the framework of your long-term shelter here. So yeah, the next thing to do is get a fire going and get yourself warm. Remember, we also don't have any water, so I've gone ahead and used my jacket, my rain jacket, as a water catchment area. The water will fill down here, and you'll have a good liter or so of drinkable rainwater ready to go on the first rain. Water is very important. 3 days without water and you're going to be tapping out. So we're basically going to go and get some tinder, and let's get a fire going. I'll be back with you in a sec. Alright guys, so basically we've just landed in a scenario where it's raining, everything's wet. I've managed to get some palm frond tinder. It is a little bit damp, but make sure you got your twigs and your wood ready. As I said, in a situation like this, you're not going to have time to put together sticks to start a fire. Your best friend in a situation like this is going to be a ferro rod. So you basically want to go ahead, use your knife. A lot of people say don't use your knife blade, it'll destroy it, but in a situation where you've got to get this going, you know, go for what works the best. So you're going to want to keep your blade at about a 45-degree angle and strike down so the tip hits your block and you don't destroy your tinder bundle, and basically and there you have it, guys.
It's good with the smoke blowing into your shelter as well. It's going to help with mosquitoes and things like that. So there you have it, guys. Quick fire, quick shelter. Make sure you put your ferro rod where you're going to find it. Always keep it in your pocket. And another thing that you can go and collect is pine cones. These things are amazing fuel. They make a coal, but if you just go ahead and put some pine cones in there, this thing will really jump up nicely. And there you have it. So we've got our fire going, our shelter, we've got our water going. As I said, you know, it's not the ideal setup, but we've got shelter, we've got fire, possibility of water. There's no rivers or dams here that we can go and get water to boil, so we've got to make a catchment area. With this, this isn't the ideal situation, you know. It's going to rain, you're going to get wet, and then you're going to get cold. So you know, in a raining situation, this is the quickest way to get yourself a good drink. But we'll make a plan later on, and we'll change this up for a proper water storage area. We'll need the jacket. So that leaves us with food, and we'll go ahead and set up some snares, and we'll see what we can make in this area with what we have in the area. So yeah, that's a shelter, fire, water. I'll catch up with you guys in a bit. Alright guys, so we've secured a immediate get out of the weather shelter, we've secured a fire, and we've secured water. What we're going to need to do now is go ahead and secure some food. There's a reason that I haven't posted on YouTube before, and this part is probably the main reason of that. There's no need to build these things unless you're in a survival situation. These will kill, and unfortunately most of the time in not the most ethical way, but if you need food, you got to go ahead and do it. And unless it's absolutely necessary, please guys, don't go ahead and build these things. Let's walk around the area, see what we can find. And we've got some paracord with us, some 550 paracord, and yep, let's go and secure some food. We're not actually going to kill, I'm just going to show you how to build so you can secure food. And let's go ahead and do it. Alright guys, so I've gone and taken a small stick, carve a notch into one side with your 550 paracord, secure some 550 paracord onto the other end with a slip knot, and then you get another long stick, carve a little spike on one side, carve a notch in the opposite direction, and we'll go ahead and look for some animal activity in the area and go ahead and set our trap up there. Let's go and do that. Alright guys, so here we have some activity. You can see this is a little mongoose. there's definitely some field mouse tracks over here. So we'll go ahead and set the snare up over here. What you're going to want to do is find a springy, make sure it's got enough spring in it. Then you're going to go ahead and shove this piece nice and secure in the ground. Make sure it's secure. Then get your slip knot piece. There you have it, guys. What you're going to want to do with your slip knot is just get it nice and spread out in the area. And that's it. What we can do now is just build a basic funnel. Alright guys, so basically what you would do is build up a funnel here, leave your snare out. You don't want to build this close to your camp. You don't want dead meat hanging around, or a wounded animal, even worse. We'll call them the predators. You want to build this a little bit away from your shelter, as well as cleaning the animal you killed. Keep it away from your shelter. You don't want predators coming in there. Basically how this works, obviously this will be a little bit smaller. You'll put it out there, your animal will come through, stick its head in here and trip the wire. Okay guys, it's not the most basic it would probably be just to leave something like this on the ground and secure it. Although if you really pull this thing down and get a nice secure setup, it's probably the most ethical way you can do it. That'll kill small game, it'll break its neck. This knot, you know, if it's tied on the ground, the animal's going to have to pull itself and literally make this thing tighter and tighter, where the momentum of this thing shooting up, it pulls it tight, cuts that air supply off, and you've got some meat on the table. There are a few others we're going to try out, so let's go ahead and build those up.